the amount of apps I have put on my phone to make me productive. I have got to-do list, I've got a planner, I've got a journal, I've got a workout app, I've got a sleep app. I have so many apps, but let me tell you something. Ask me if I've been productive after having all those apps. We all want to be more productive and get things done in less time. But sometimes the things we believe about productivity can actually be holding us back. In this video, we are going to explore some productivity myths that are wasting your time and keeping you away from achieving your goals. Because to be honest with you, how many times have you watched productivity? How many times have you watched so many videos of people saying to you, be productive, you have to be productive to get things done. And sometimes you'd be too productive that you're actually destroying your own productivity. So hey, my name is Lucy. I do talk about self-growth, self-development, healthy living and intentional living on this channel. If that's something that you really enjoy or you want to add on your list, then please do subscribe to this channel. And if you're not yet sure, just subscribe. Along the way, I'm sure we'll change your mind. Anyways, let's get into this video where I'm going to be sharing with you all the productivity myths that I know are wasting your time for sure. Myth number 1 is multitasking is efficient. One of the biggest productivity myths that I've heard is that multitasking is efficient to achieve your goals. However, research has showed that doing multiple things at once can actually be detrimental to your productivity. Instead of juggling multiple tasks, focus on just one thing and give it its most attention. You've heard all this thing that females are very good at multitasking, whereas males are really horrible at multitasking. But in actual sense, if you want to get something done and you want to give it your 100%, you have to focus on that thing. When you spread yourself out, sometimes you spread yourself thin and you end up leaving 20% on everything, but you're expecting a return of 100%. I have done that. I have been there. So I for sure know that as you're watching this, or some of you are watching this, you have been into that myth whereby you think that the more you do so many things is the more productive you are.
To your channel, and that's a big difference that we see on YouTube.
Imagine, as I was filming this, I decided that I was going to join a call. Paying attention to this call and getting 100% out of it? No. Do I feel like I'm doing something? Yes. Am I going to take it off on my to-do list? Of course, yes, because I think I'm being productive. But then I'm missing so much information out of this, and also I'm slacking on my recording. So it does not mean that if you can multitask, you're giving yourself 100%. So myth number 2, working longer hours equals more productivity. Many people believe that working longer hours leads to more productivity. However, research shows that working too many hours can lead to burnout, decreased productivity, and even health issues. So instead of focusing on quantity of hours worked, focus more on quality. Work during the time that you have. It's so much easier to fall into that hole or that pit whereby you think that if I stay in the office longer and finish work at 9, I'm being more productive and I'm going to get as much work done. I used to fall into that category where I was like, if I stay a bit longer, I'm being more productive and I'm going to get a lot of things done. Well, it must be said, there's so many things that you can get done if you do longer hours, if you stay continuously doing the work that you do. Yes, you could achieve certain things, but is it making you be more productive? No, because at the end of the day, you're going to burn out. You're going to have health issues, things like depression, anxiety, feeling low, and all those kind of things are one of the things that you could experience by working longer hours, because it doesn't lead to productivity. It instead causes more issues than you can ever imagine. So myth number 3, procrastination is always bad. While procrastination can be a productivity killer, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes taking a break or giving your brain time to relax can lead to better ideas and increased productivity when you return back to the task at hand. Key is to be intentional and use procrastination as a tool to do better. Use it in the wisest and better ways. How many times have you been in a situation whereby you beat yourself up because you're procrastinating? I've done that so many times. I sit down and I say to myself, I could be doing better. When I get my phone and I scroll through TikTok, I scroll through Instagram, so I scroll through YouTube Shorts, I start beating myself up on the fact that I'm procrastinating. I could be doing something better. But in actual sense, sometimes my brain needs to switch off from that task that is actually not helping me at all, that is actually stressing me out, to go to something that gives me more of enjoyment, more of entertainment, so that when I come back to the task at hand, I'm able to kind of like, be more intentional and work much more harder in a sense. So procrastination is not a bad thing. It depends on how you use the procrastination. If you're using procrastination as a way to deviate away from things that you actually have to do, you have to take care of, then that is different. But if you use your procrastination as a way to rest your brain, to relax, and to give yourself time to think, then that is much more better than actually going in and out every single second. Before we move on to myth number 4, I want to share some of the things that I've been having and I've been drinking recently. It's not sponsored at all, but something that I'm going to start doing on this channel is sharing certain things that I've discovered during the week that I think are really good. So the first one is, literally, I discovered this Itsu kombucha. I take kombucha. If you know me, I take quite a lot of kombucha. But I thought to myself, why not try the Itsu one? And I absolutely love it. I really, really, really love it. And I'm enjoying it. So pick up kombucha from Itsu. The other thing that I discovered, I hate coffee. I hate drinking coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I discovered this vitamin coffee when I went to Holland and Barrett. My light is a bit harsh to show you completely properly, but I absolutely love this. I'll be taking a cup a week because I don't like coffee, just to give me those nutrients and the benefits of having coffee. This is really good. It's got vitamin A, vitamin B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C, which are really, really good. If I'm going to take coffee, I may as well get these other extra benefits that come with it. And literally, I drank some today and I took it. It's really nice when you brew it. It's much better, but you can still drink it the normal way. But yeah, those are my 2 discoveries this week. So let's get back into myth number 4. So myth number 4 is busy equals productivity. Now, I have been a victim to this, which is a very common myth that the more busy you are, the more productive you are. But the truth of the matter is, being busy doesn't mean that you're being more productive. Busyness does not equate productivity. Instead of focusing on being busy, prioritize spending more time on less tasks that you can intentionally give your all, like your 100%. Every single time I used to see people being busy, doing things, saying I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I wake up in the morning, I'm doing that, I'm doing all these kind of things, and they're busy within their day, I thought to myself, I'm not being productive, I'm not making good use of my time, I'm not making good use of my day. But in actual sense, it doesn't mean because they are busy, they're actually being productive. Remember the thing that we say, that multitasking, being busy, multitasking, thinking that longer hours equals productivity and all that kind of thing. But in actual sense, if you just take time to concentrate and do one thing, do not feel guilty, because to be honest with you, the society has made it this kind of thing that if you are busy, it means that you're productive, you're getting things done, and therefore you're living a better life compared to someone who is not doing as much as you're doing. But no, that's not how it works. If you spend your time, a lot of time, into doing so many things, you're killing your productivity and you're wasting your time at the end of the day. So you'd rather get a few tasks that you can give yourself 100%, that you can give 100% in order to get you to that point of productivity, and you'll get better results. You can't give 20% and expect 100%. You have to give at least 80%, and maybe the expectation of 100% would be a bit reasonable and realistic. Okay, let's talk about myth number 5. I've fallen victim of this particular myth, and I still do, but I am working on it. And it is, the more tools, the better. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Many productivity apps and tools promise to help you get more done in less time. But in actual sense, too many tools can actually be overwhelming and counterproductive. To be honest with you, I've fallen victim of this particular myth. I think that if I have an app that organizes things, aesthetically pleasing, it's going to make me more productive. But otherwise, it has left me more confused than I actually was before I actually downloaded the app. There are so many apps that I have on my phone that I paid, that I'm not deleting because I paid my money for them. So therefore, they are there. And there are some apps that are literally very useful. They really help me to track certain things. I have got apps on my phone that, honestly speaking, the amount of apps I have put on my phone to make me productive. I have got to-do list, I've got a planner, I've got a journal, I've got a workout app, I've got a sleep app. I have so many apps, and I thought to myself, if I have this app, I'll be more productive. But let me tell you something. Ask me if I've been productive after having all those apps. It's a lie. So, if you are someone who is watching this thinking that you have so many apps that are going to make you productive, that is a myth that you have to let go of. Just instead, find a few apps that work for you and literally use them to the best of your ability that you can, and stick with them. To be honest with you, you need at least 2 apps. If you want to push it, at least 3 apps. You can get an app which is about a sleep one, which has meditation and helps you plan and organize everything. You can have a to-do list app, and maybe an app that helps you track your habits. That's literally what you need if you want to stay productive. Anything that's aesthetically pleasing, forget about it. If you go on Instagram will push another app, will tell you how much this app is going to help you. You're going to find so many people giving reviews. After I downloaded this app, my life changed. After I had this app, so many things changed. I became more productive. I was able to see my habits, my this and that. And then you're like, oh, I'm the target audience. And then you go ahead and download that app, and then you end up being in a confusion sort of spiral. This is also when it comes to journals and diaries. How many journals have you bought to be productive? How many notepads have you bought that you're going to write down things and you're saying you're going to be more productive, but you've not even been productive at all? At the beginning of this year, I bought myself a journal, which is a balanced journal. That journal is divided into sections of weekly, monthly, and I don't know, quarterly or something like that. I'm telling you, that journal confused me and put me off journaling. I'm waiting for another journal that is yet to come in April, and that one is like an everyday sort of journal with different quotes and stuff like that. So I'm waiting for that for that particular journal to launch, and then I can go ahead and get it. The journal that I have, honestly, I spent £36 on that particular journal, and I'm not going to use it, and I can't use it because every single time I use it, I got frustrated. I couldn't follow up, I couldn't keep up, and I was wondering why. Is it because I'm bad at journaling? Is it because I can't get anything done? No, the journal itself was not for me, and it was making me less productive and was making me hate journaling. So cut down on all the apps, the notepads, the journals, the everything that you're buying. Just stick to one that works for you. And if you're like me who picked up one that doesn't work for you, that's good that you've experimented and found that. Therefore, you can get something that is better for you. Okay, so honestly, to be fair, when it comes to productivity, it's all about finding that balance between what you can actually do and what you can actually spend your time on, than actually doing so many things, thinking that you're spreading out your time and you're doing better. Being busy, saying I have too much on my plate, does not mean that you're productive. At the end of the day, if you sit down and ask yourself, what is it today? They've given 100%. They've given most of your time. You will realize that you spend your time doing so many things that you can't even remember, that you can't even master, and you can't even say, you know what, I gave that my all.